Nothing like starting off with a weird like throat sound. Do you ever get those weird like?
Yeah.
Hey.
There's a guy that sits next to me in the office, and he has one of those, but it goes off every like 60 seconds.
Oh.
It's so disgusting, and like for the life of me, like my boss does not understand why I don't want to sit next to him.
Is it just that?
It's this. He goes,
Oh.
like, but you can hear the phlegm, like you can hear clearance, and it's funny because like it penetrates like every headphone that I wear. Like I've tried like different headphones,
like noise canceling, but
it doesn't work. You can hear it perfectly, and it's like to the point where it actually produces like a physical response in me. Like I get like the chills almost.
Yeah,
like it's
what
so
is that?
disgusting.
Is it a Mr. Burns?
Yeah.
Or no, that's it's not Mr. Burns. It's Sideshow Bob, right? Right. It's like the Sideshow Bob Sideshow Bob chill. You got any top of the show business, Robert?
I do have some top of the show business.
Wow. He's got some business.
Very important top of the show business.
Okay.
It's not today, but this will be posted tomorrow, which for everybody listening is today.
Yeah. Okay, great math.
So today is Eddie's birthday. Happy birthday, Eddie.
Happy birthday, Eddie. Wow, great show business. That'd be nice if he listens on the day. Well, we'll probably find out. Did you want to extend any further wishes?
Oh, to what, Eddie?
Yeah, I don't know. Or you got any other top of the show biz?
No, I just totally got myself because I think I just did the only who can prevent forest fires.
Yeah, a little bit. It's in the realm. Today we are drinking Omnipolo, decouple, dry hopped, Fata Morgana, Nelson Sauvin, quadruple India Pale Ale.
Quadruple?
Quadruple.
You're nuts, man.
It's 12%.
I'm not drinking all this.
I had one of these the other night. It was
I'm gonna
pretty good.
fucking play a hockey game in like 2 hours. I'm gonna be
That's
asleep.
true. It's only it's only 6% technically.
That's not how that works. Quadruple.
Quadruple, yeah.
That's disgusting.
It's pretty good actually. But friend of the show, Travis, the other Travis, is just alerted me. He like literally sent me like an Instagram post or something of this. There's a bottle shop down the street that you may remember, Royal Liquors. Mm-hmm. Have you been there recently?
You're talking about the one on Williams?
Yeah.
Yeah. Coach Ed used to work there. Eddie's
Really?
dad.
Yeah, because like you guys used to play like football in the parking lot there, right?
We used to do all sorts of shenanigans in that parking lot because we'd just go in and like watch people like scratchers and shit.
But they have an insane beer selection. Maybe they may be the new reigning king, actually. You can literally go into their walk-in freezer, and it's just wall-to-wall beer.
Wow.
It's pretty crazy. I spent a good 5 to 10 minutes in there, which was tough because it's in the fridge. Like, you literally have to be in their fridge, so it gets pretty cold. But found a lot of good stuff. Next couple beers are all going to be from Royal Liquors. I should shout them out on the Instagram. Remember to do that.
We back at the Longs days in San Diego, we used to like have to stock the beer fridge.
Yeah.
And that was one of those, like the people couldn't walk in there, but you stocked it from behind.
Yeah.
Right, so it was like always super cold in there.
So that's the weird thing. You go in the behind part.
Mm-hmm. So you're allowed to go back there.
Yeah.
Royal Liquors.
I had to ask, and he's like, "Please do," or something.
So we would routinely there were like during the summer months, like there would be like I don't know 5 or 2 or 3 different types of like coats or jackets that the store would be selling because like at nighttime it gets cold on the beach.
Yeah.
But like we would just take them and put them in the back because what we would do is we would just be using the jackets to go hang out in the beer cooler for the entirety of our shifts, and we'd have like a keg tapped back there.
Wow.
Right. So when you said like it gets really cold there, I can only spend 5 minutes. It's like you weren't prepared.
Yeah.
We had like we had like beanies, like we had gloves, and then like we'd come out to do customer service calls, and people would look at us like we're fucking nuts because we're like, we have like gloves on and stuff.
But optimal temperature for drinking a beer, probably.
Yeah, I mean, optimal temperature for not doing any work, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Any other? I think that was it for my top of the show business.
All right. So, episode 2, season 11.
That's correct. That's what episode we're on.
So we start off here in Netflix.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say, even before this, after re-listening to all our pods from last season, we kept deriding the like episode name choice, and this episode name is it's the dog. What's the dog's name? Angel
Muffin.
Angel Muffin. That's the name of the episode, and I actually think that's a pretty good name for an episode. Right? How do you feel about that?
I mean, it's okay.
I think it's pretty good. I think in the grand scheme of Curbs, it's not bad. Okay, but yeah, we're at Netflix. What do you got at Netflix?
Well, I just have a question. Did you see the wheels this time?
There was like 2 co-execs, right?
Still don't see wheels?
Yeah, she's just completely invisible to me. There'll like just be a disembodied voice every once in a while on screen. So let's see. It kind of starts off and they're questioning the pick of, what was it, Maria Sophia from last episode?
Yeah.
And what is it? They're like, how did you find this person? And she's like, we went to see, like, it was like a friend's kids play, but this wasn't the friend's kid. This was another lead in the play.
I think it was Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, it was Romeo and Juliet. And they're like, can we see a videotape of this performance? And they're like, yeah, Jeff, show it to her. He's like, I deleted it.
Yeah.
And then like there's just this like long string of like Larry calling Jeff a fucking idiot.
So what's really funny, and I actually thought Jeff did a really good job with this because I just wrote down Hall of Fame friend.
I don't even know if this is friend territory. I think this is just business.
You're right, but I mean, like, at the same time, this is like the friendly thing to do in business is to take one for your client. But I think that this being Larry made it easier for him to do it. But he just like kind of taps him. He's like, I forgot to tell you. I actually accidentally deleted it. And then you're right. He just starts like, you're a fucking idiot. You fucking idiot. And I just wrote down, who told you to futz with it?
I didn't hear that one.
He said futz. On my closed captioning, it came up as F-U-T-Z.
Oh, you got the closed captioning on. I wrote down at the end, just shut up. Like, because he calls him a fucking idiot like 10 times. He's like, just shut up.
So they're clearly trying to get an idea of who this person is.
Yeah.
Larry. Yeah, I mean, I guess we know now that this is going to be like the recurring theme throughout the entire season. But Larry is just.
Well, I don't know, because doesn't it fall through at the end?
That's true. That's a good point. Well,
spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. But the guy said that she has to be cast. So let's see if he actually sticks to it, or if he comes back and says like, "Well, you got the show canceled, so you still have to do something for me."
Maybe.
Right. Like I think
so. Maybe that's the.
I think the extortion is
the
still
extortion's
like the
long running thing. Not the show.
But so they walk out, and Jeff decides to just, or Larry has an issue with his tooth, and Jeff's like, do you have a dentist? And he says, he's like, he just retired on me or something. And so Jeff recommends this dentist. But really what Jeff's doing is trying to plant a mole in this dentist's office because there is a particular dental assistant that apparently Jeff got pregnant.
Yes.
And he paid for her abortion.
It's so weird because there's this real, like, I feel like they recommend physicians or medical care professionals to each other all the time. So like when he first says it, because he doesn't bring up the mole part right away, that he kind of like brings that up at a later date. It just seemed like a normal like, hey, I got a what is it, Greek dentist for you. But there's something else that happened in the meeting that we should probably bring up that they're trying to cast young Larry.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about him.
And there's this guy, I can't remember. I've seen The Maze Runner, a couple of those movies, so I like kind of recognize this guy. Have you ever seen this guy before?
I haven't, but you know who I thought it was?
He really looked like somebody to me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, who is it to you? Because
He looked like Adam Brody.
Adam Brody.
I think so.
I was gonna say Adam Devine from Workaholics.
Oh. I can see that. He reminded me of Adam Brody from like the OC.
Okay, yeah, I didn't catch that vibe. Just because of his personality, that is more Adam Devine for me. But yeah.
I mean I can kind of see it. His name is Dylan O'Brien. I guess I wrote it down. Dylan O'Brien, and then so Larry, this is so stupid. Larry and Jeff have to go see his band to try to woo him to the show. And did you catch the band name?
No. Well, I mean, I don't remember it, but
it's Dylan O'Brien and the Entrails. I mean, it sounds like, to me, if I'm being honest, it sounds like an old man coming up with a band name.
Yeah. I wasn't a huge fan of this, but I understand.
Man, okay, so is the next scene them going to the show?
Well, the next scene is actually Larry saying he has to go to the bathroom, but he agrees to go be the mole for this whole is she, because Jeff's concerned about the abortion. He said he's paid for the abortion, but he's concerned that he's sort of being taken for that. She's claiming now that she has complications and she needs more money, and of course he wants to do the right thing, but he's not sure if this is all a scam, and so Larry agrees to kind of like.
Is that right now? I thought that was like a little later or something.
Well, no, I thought that's why he was like. Kind of like telling Larry the whole story, and that's why the first time Larry has to go in there. Well, it doesn't matter. Just keep, whatever.
No, because I think that's explained later at Jeff's house when, he has the first towel run in with Susie.
Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying. I was just sort of setting the whole thing up.
Okay, yeah, but I guess it's fine to explain it now.
Larry has to go to the bathroom, so he goes to the bathroom and he has a problem with the seat. That it won't stay up.
Yeah.
And there's like a minute long of just Larry in so many different ways struggling to keep the seat up and pull his dick out. And it just kind of like comically ends with him like standing on top of the toilet or standing on the toilet seat, but not on the seat, I guess on the rim. And
to me it's like
just pee on the seat.
Yeah, just pee with the seat down. It's like you stomping around with your shoes on the seat is not better than you peeing on the seat. It's probably actually worse.
Yeah. But Larry, knowing Larry, he can't let these things go.
Yeah, does he go back in right away?
So he goes right back into the exec's office before he leaves, and he explains to all four of them that they should, he doesn't have any, I wrote, urethral discipline. He doesn't have the urethral discipline to pee, I guess, with the seat down.
Yeah.
And that they should call a maintenance person to fix that.
Yeah, it's not the first time that Larry's had. Can you think of another show where characters go to the bathroom this much? Like in most other shows, going to the bathroom is never even addressed. But it seems like in Curb, there's at least one episode a season that is not solely, but like wholly based around being in the bathroom or having some bathroom subplot. Like he literally just goes to the bathroom all the time. Like literally last episode. He finds all the COVID hoarding because he's going to the bathroom. Like
that's true.
Isn't that kind of weird?
That's true. There's a lot of things coming up for me bathroom-wise right now because like part of the whole thing with Latte Larry was the
bathrooms?
the bathroom experience.
So much stuff about bathrooms in that.
The one of my favorite moments from last season. where he runs past. Is it Kevin Arneson? Is that how you say his name? Armisen?
Fred Armisen.
Fred Armisen. He runs by him to go to the bathroom, and he comes out, and and
There's
he's
the
just
one-
there staring at him.
Yeah, that was like one of the best moments from that season. The one where he's deafened in the bathroom. The one where he goes to the bathroom and then they're like the little girls in there, and then he's got something in his pants and the kid thinks he has a boner.
The
Where he keeps having to go into the women's room.
the bathroom where he used the handicap stall, and then he gets
Yeah.
told that he has to wait, and then he himself becomes handicapped
Sort of, yeah.
in a way, and then he becomes the overlord of the handicap
Yeah,
stall.
there's so much. I mean, literally last episode, Leon taking a shit in his house. He's like obsessed with the bathroom. What was the other thing I was accusing him of like being it was being into dogs. Remember that? When I was accusing Larry of bestiality. In like when I was watching Allen versus Pharaoh, I thought it was like Larry was
Wow.
trying to code into his art that he's like secretly into dogs. He's got a dog in this episode.
He does have a dog in this episode.
Because Larry loves dogs, but he doesn't have a dog. He doesn't want to be tempted.
He really does love dogs, but he's only really loved
Yeah.
Oscar.
I mean, he doesn't really treat this dog that well, actually. That's true. But it is funny seeing Larry with that dog.
The whole scene here ends with the exec telling him that, or should I just call him his name, Don Jr.
Yeah.
Tells him that he will call the maintenance guy right away and get it fixed. So then it cuts to. Are you good? Do you have anything else there?
Not really. I think we can get to it later.
Okay. So it cuts to lunch, and it's Leon and the new Mary Ferguson and Larry having
Ferguson
lunch.
2.
So I got two things here from Leon because
MF2?
he immediately calls. He's like, I call her Deuce, number 2.
Deuce is pretty good.
And they are having a lunch, and Larry says that he's still hungry, and she has an ample amount of steak left on her plate, and Larry asks her for some, and she says, I'm going to give it to my dog.
Yeah.
Now, did you notice that, and I don't know if this felt forced to you, because it kind of felt forced to me, it seemed like in almost every scene there was like confrontation. Like almost every scene with Larry, there was like a confrontation of some sort.
You think they're stacking the confrontations?
I think so. I think they kind of forced it in this episode a little bit. So they had a confrontation about her food, and then the confrontation about the towels, and then a confrontation with Cheryl about the towels, and then another confrontation about the towels later, and then a confrontation with Leon about the towels,
Yeah.
right? And then a confrontation about the dog.
Two things we know about Larry. He's obsessed with bathrooms and he's very confrontational.
He's very confrontational. I mean, this episode just seems like uber confrontational.
I mean, yeah, I agree. I mean, to me, it's like it's almost you don't even like notice it anymore.
Did you have anything from this lunch scene?
Yeah. So like basically, at the end, so like when she so Larry takes it to the very gauche place of like, well, if you're not going to share it with me, maybe you should pay for your own meal then. And she's like, no, I'm not paying for my own meal. Which it's like, I kind of saw him going there, but he's just like, to me, this is something that an argument he had in his mind, but he's never actually had in real life, I don't think. Because I think this is a little too crazy for him. But they get into this big whole thing, and basically they kind of get into an offended off, where she's like, wow. When like he like says, like maybe you should pay for it, and then he kind of goes back, you're wowing me? Wow to you. Wow that you won't just... You need 5 pieces of steak. And then, like, she's like, no, you can't wow me after I've already wowed you. He's like, I got the wow.
So who do you think wins the wow off?
I don't know. It's kind of hard. I would almost say her. Because I think it is more gauche for him to be like, maybe I'm not going to pay for you now. Because it's like, it's her meal. You offered her the meal. You can't like rescind the meal because she's not executing the meal the way you want her to.
Yeah, this was like borderline for me because I could kind of understand why he would be somewhat offended. Because like there is,
I think he has the right to be offended.
There's a lot of food left on the plate.
Yeah.
So if you just like, can I just have a piece?
Yeah.
But ultimately, it is her food. Like she could just as easily say like, I was actually planning to eat it later. Right.
Yeah,
and
it's like she doesn't need to be. This is another reused storyline because this is not the first time Larry's taken umbrage with like taking people or people. Oh my gosh. People taking food home for their dogs. Do you remember the one with backslash Negron? And where he like...
What a callback.
Where Susie wants to take food home for Oscar, and he's like, this can't be taken home for dogs like Negron does. and she's like... And Larry's like, I'll take it home. And then he's like, we shall see.
Wow. Good callback.
So, yeah. I mean, the only other thing I would say about this is just, again, spoiler alert, but later on we find out that the dog didn't even eat it.
Well, he did eat it. It got sick.
No, well, she's like, because did the dog eat it all? And she said, no, actually, it got sick part of the way through. It's been throwing up all day. So it's like, it got sick, but it ate part of it, not all of it. So some of it could have been given to Larry.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you to bring up the episode because I just want to show you something that I just like.
Oh, shit. Okay.
What's going on?
Oh, I just... hold on. Never mind. Just keep going.
All right. So now we're at Jeff's house, or for some reason in my notes, it's Jeef's house.
Jeef.
And you're right, this is where he's saying, like, gave her the money for the abortion, but now she's asking for more money for the abortion complications, and he doesn't know if he's being taken for.
He's being fleeced.
But they're talking about this at his house, and
yeah,
Susie
kind of in hushed tones.
Susie walks in. There was actually something from my first the first time they were talking about this that I wrote down that I didn't get to, but I could say it here. Larry is like in such disbelief about Jeff's ability to just like bang random women.
Yeah,
right.
It's funny because we've often brought up this like concept that it's like, how does Jeff get this many women? But like Larry finally does. What does he say?
He said, I wrote it down.
Okay.
He's like, what do you got going for you? I don't get it.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Like he is so perplexed that like his only friend can't even figure it out.
Yeah, because it's like not only is he getting laid all the time, but he's fucking raw dogging it with like hygienist, which
he
is
is
the
not
dream.
being safe. He is not. Did you say the dream?
Yeah.
Wow.
Raw dog and a hygienist.
Raw dog and a hygienist. Show title?
No, I don't know. Raw dog and a hygienist in parentheses, the dream.
The dream. Whose dream?
Just general men. I guess.
Yes, just yours.
No, I think maybe it's Larry's. What was the scene you wanted me to bring up?
So we'll get to it in a second. You just let this play, but it's gonna be when they first introduced Dylan on stage.
Oh, I think I might know it because I actually saw this on Instagram today. So do you have anything? So I guess we should.
Pause it here.
We should finish up this scene a little bit.
Just so Susie comes in.
She comes in with like new towels, and this starts this like
another confrontation.
Yeah, another confrontation. But this is a thing that was like killed to death in the previews, and I don't even think it's that good. Is that
no? That's what I'm saying. Like I'm not really enjoying all the confrontations. They're not that good.
No, I just mean like this Susie confrontation. Like he's mad about her talking about towels. Like if somebody came to me and was making fun of a friend's towels, I guess unless they had like a really good joke, I'd think they were insane. I'm like,
well, Susie is insane, but so is Larry.
But it's like he's incensed by it. I was like, it just shows what a fucking nut she is.
Yeah. So the big question here is, are you a pat dry or a rub dry?
Oh, I forgot that. I did write something down about the pat and rub dry. What did I write? Well, first of all, I had aged towels. Did you catch that?
Yeah,
because
they're
Larry's
saying
like,
Larry's towels are ratty.
yeah, she's like,
they're super
she calls
aged
them
and rock
ratty,
hard.
but he's like, no, I have aged my towels, like, because I actually think they get better with age. And then at one point, just like, we could use some aged towels.
He's always like trying to defend Larry in some
Yeah.
small way. But Larry says he specifically buys towels, washes them.
Yeah, doesn't he say he has like a rock that he
Later on, yeah, he says he has a rock and he beats the towels over just to make them extra hard because he likes to do a pat dry. And then I have a note here, Butt-Insky, but I don't even remember what that's from.
Boy, that sounds vaguely familiar. I did not write that down. I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
But
Butt-Insky.
this, if you rewind it like 30 seconds, we'll probably catch it on the screen here. But
Okay.
it all it is to say is that Larry and Cheryl, or Larry and Susie, were talking about towels, and then in the next scene, because what they're doing here is they're going to go to a music show.
Need your Butt-Insky.
Oh, like butting in.
Yeah, there you go. Right, we got it. It did come right up.
Didn't matter.
But it's Butt-Insky.
I know, that's what I said. It's like Butt-Insky. Larry and Jeff are going to this music show. So this is the scene that I wanted you to play.
Okay. Do you want me to just play it
Do
right
you
now?
know what I was laughing at?
Is it a walking style?
Definitely the walking style. But so here it comes up that he's running into Cheryl.
Yeah.
And Cheryl apparently has like a relationship with Dylan in some way. Like,
is that what it was? Okay.
like she just said her friend is his publicist, so she's known Dylan for a long time. The person I watched this with, first thing she says, like, wow, she's had a lot of work done, which is something
I wrote that down.
we have also commented on. Not that we want to be the show that comments on these sort of things, but we've just made this note before.
But it's been a watch. It's one of our like homophobia watches. We're on plastic surgery watch too, but I wrote that down. I wrote
for the
Cheryl
record,
has definitely had more work done.
For the record, I think Larry's had some work done too.
He may have, but I think it's
he's
more
very
natural.
smooth for an old man.
He's very vain too, obviously, as we've seen.
But so Cheryl wants to talk to him about the ratty towels, or I guess he was having like something about ratty towels. So
Oh no, it's not this. Here it is.
like some walking lunges with like some hip opening thrusters.
Did you catch the song that they're playing here?
Yeah, I mean, how could you forget?
It's Pot USA.
Yeah.
Peaches. And then what does he say later on? He's just like, why did you write that song? Like, that's what Larry asked me. He's like, no, it's a cover. And he's like, why in the world would you cover that song? He's like, I think it's really aged well over the last 20 years. I used to love that band. Like when they came out. I had both of their albums at the time.
I also like that you called them Pot USA.
Pot USA, yeah.
Is that something you called it back in the day, or did
That
you?
was, yeah.
Okay.
Somebody told me that acronym for that band.
Because what a stupid fucking name for a band.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
it worked.
It's not, and for our audience, it's not Pot USA. It's
Presidents of the United States of America.
Can you go back? 'Cause I want to show you one last thing in that scene. There's another dance here that I need to make sure that you've seen.
Okay.
You can just let it play, but it's a Jeff dance here. And
I wrote this down, yeah, because you talked about the person you watched it with this. Man, I was watching with Spicy C, and she was just like, she was having a hard time. She's like, this show is like, to borrow the parlance of the time, it's very cringe. It's like, it's hard to watch at times. But we both, like, when Jeff, it's like barely a move, just kind of like wiggles for a second.
It definitely reminded me of the other Travis for a second.
Really?
Well, it's just like the kind of hand motions that he does. But so basically, Larry and Jeff are like, we are way too old to be here. This sucks. This is fucking terrible. And then they proceed to put like, what is it, tissue in their ear, which I don't think is going to do anything for them.
I don't know if that
but
would really work.
all of a sudden, it's like
Did
a
we
million
miss
times
the Jeff
better.
dance move?
No, it's coming up right now.
I think it's right here, right?
Yeah. But they can't hear each other. And yeah, so they have these... What is that?
It's like the oldest man dance I've ever seen.
It's like an odd Running Man of sorts.
Yeah. It's like if the Running Man had a stroke.
Yeah. And respectfully, because we're not sure if Jeff really did have some sort of stroke, but not to be canceled.
Is that cancelable?
You never know these days, Glenn. You know what? Actually, go ahead and cancel us. I'm really tired.
Oh, I forgot to. I had one other note from the Cheryl conversation that, like, so you kind of brought it up earlier that, like, Cheryl brings up Larry's towels. Like, what? Like, I can't remember how it like starts. It's like she's just like, yeah, it's just like really old and ratty, like your towels. And he's like, why? Why would you bring up my towels? Has Susie been talking to you about my towels? And she's just like, no, I just like, when I think of ratty, I think of your towels. And she's like, let's just agree to disagree. He's like, no, I disagree to disagree.
But that's what I meant. Like, they're just sort of like forcing the confrontation. Like, that came out of left field, right? But it's like something that just happened in the scene before. Like, okay.
Oh man, I'm looking at my notes. I have no idea what my next two notes are.
Let's go.
Well, let's get to the next scene. I'm pretty sure it's after Jeff dancing.
It's the backstage.
Yeah.
They have to go backstage and tell Dylan what a great performer he is.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't take out the tissue from their ears.
Which, what an amateur move.
Either
Right?
an amateur move, but why would the guy care? Because like you should still be able to hear music through those things. It's just like you'd be like, I'm really old and it's like damaging to my ears. Like,
Yeah, Spicy C said the same thing. She's just like, if he was a real musician, he would understand the need for earplugs, which I kind of thought the same thing too.
Yeah.
We
So-
got more beeping again this episode.
What are your notes?
My two notes are Burger King.
I got Burger King because
Okay, you know what it is.
yeah, it's like he's gonna say something like, you know, what's your favorite restaurant or something like that, and he's like Burger King, but we'll hear it in a second. What's your second note?
See this palm.
See this palm?
Yeah.
I think that's when he's getting like, he's like Mr. Artist, right? And he's saying a whole bunch of like weird shit, and he's just telling Larry like, I'm an artist, and that's where he's like asking me about like the Pot USA song. No,
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know exactly. I'm just saying like,
I'm just watching for Burger King now.
all right, well, why don't you turn the sound on so that it's not completely awkward?
Is that what we're doing? Okay.
I don't know.
Do you have anything from this scene?
You're not looking at me here. I'm just I'm just trying to keep it moving.
Oh, there was a line here that I meant to write down that was one of my favorites. This chicken Alfredo with a friend, where you're cooking chicken Alfredo. Some of the lines that made me laugh the most in this episode, I didn't write down. They weren't like really write downable.
Like what?
I didn't write them down, so I don't remember. Was that it? Did I miss Burger King?
No, I bet this is where it's coming though, because
Okay.
he's like, Larry just basically just starts being confrontational with him, like,
Yeah, I promise you I can take it.
I'm ready to grow.
In 2 words,
Yeah.
it's stunk.
Go for it.
You can take it. You got a shot in hell. Do it.
I like that he's like, yeah, tell me the criticism. He's just like, go fuck yourself.
I'm a very peaceful guy. Dogs are my life, right?
I really don't like this dog, by the way.
Sit and eat a meal
He's
with
okay.
your dog next to you outside. First
Oh, that's right. I remember what. Here we go.
See people sitting
Show me
outdoor.
one place. Name one. Name one other restaurant that does that. Where you can bring your dog outside.
Burger King.
what a payoff.
That's right. That did make me laugh.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, okay, I'm back.
All right. So we're back at Netflix,
Okay.
and they've got to face the executives, right? Because they just fucked up the executives' first choice for young Larry.
Yeah.
So they've got to.
Which, did you see a fuck up coming? Because Larry and Jeff going to the concert, to me, was an obvious recipe for disaster. I don't know what Netflix was thinking.
Yeah, I think this is one of those know your audience things.
Yeah.
Like if you know anything about Larry, like why would you think he would want to do this? Now, granted, Larry still walked backstage and was like, "Oh, that was amazing. I was clapping." Right? Like
Yeah,
he still did it.
The illusion didn't last very long. Larry has a very like short fuse for like glad handing and like just talking niceties. Like the other people have to keep up the fake niceness the same amount for like a very short amount of time. That's the only way it will work with Larry.
So they have to come up with some sort of way to apologize to Dylan. Then the executives wanted to know if, what's her name? I can't remember her name. The girl that they cast.
Maria Sophia, I think.
They want to know if Maria will come in and record another audition.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh well, she'd love to, but you know, she's out of town. It's like, oh yeah, we'll send her a camera. We should just do it on an iPhone. She's like, no, she's completely off the grid. Like, where is she? New Mexico. Maybe it's like Habitat for Humanity.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wasn't it like Habitat for Humanity?
Oh yeah, it's like Habitat for Humanity. He's like, oh yeah, where? She's like, New Mexico.
I was like, New Mexico? I was like, not even regular old Mexico?
Yeah. Well, that's what he's like, why there? He's like, it's close to Mexico.
Yeah. What a lie. Okay, I actually had something in this John Jr. scene that I wanted to show you. Did you notice anything in this Don Jr. scene?
Not particularly, no.
Look at Don Jr.'s outfit here. He's got like a pretty bright blue suit, but like look at the thing he's wearing underneath. It looks like he's wearing like a Patagonia vest underneath his like suit jacket.
What do you know about high fashion, Glenn?
Is this I mean, I asked Spicy C and she's pretty fashionable and I was like, is this like a look that I'm not aware of? And she's like, no, this is bizarre to me too.
Maybe both of you are out of touch.
Does this look cool to you?
I mean, not that I would know.
Have you seen this look before?
I'm self-aware enough to know that that is not something I can comment on.
I'm not even sure if he's pulling it off, and he's a good-looking guy.
I mean, it is odd to have a blazer, a full suit, and then the shirt underneath it be a sweater.
Yeah, it's like a zip-up, but it's like a skin-tight zip-up with like one of those like ribbed.
Do you think they're
like
just trying
necks.
to make him like LA executive? Like,
I think they are. Yeah, maybe it's like the casting person. She's like, this is what all the hot execs are wearing these days. Because I guess like around here they do wear Patagonia, like all the execs. So it's like he's mixing like the Patagonia, like the SF vibe with the LA vibe or something. I don't know.
all right. And so before leaving the office, Larry again just says like, hey, you know, I did use the bathroom before our meeting and the seat still doesn't work. He's like, did you talk to the maintenance guy? And he's like, I talked to the maintenance guy. I told him.
Yeah. I guess we didn't even talk about this either. Did they run into the
That's
maintenance?
after this scene.
Is it after this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But he's like, he I don't know why I wrote it down because it doesn't mean anything, but I just found it funny that he referred to the executive as the big cheese.
It's a kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the big cheese.
But so they're walking out, and then they run into Junior. They run into it's
No.
Julio.
The big cheese is Junior.
Yeah, the big cheese is Junior. They run into Julio, and they talk to Julio because Julio is also the maintenance guy at the dentist's office. So that's how Jeff recognizes him.
Yeah. Which is, this whole like
I know.
storyline is insane.
To be a maintenance person for a big ass building, because you just see the Netflix building. Did you see
Yeah.
how big it was?
And he's like, I do
it's like 12
everything
stories.
here.
He's like, I
was
do all the maintenance myself.
There is no way. I mean, I guess that should have been a tip off later on that, what was this guy's name? Is full of shit.
Oh yeah, right. So basically, yeah, we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But he's like, did he talk to you? He's like, no one's talked to me about a toilet seat. And then I think Larry says Don Jr. And then Julio's like, Junior.
Yeah, he's like, this janitor, I don't know what he's doing. Like, is he just stirring up shit? Or is he just like,
I took it to mean that he's sort of milking both jobs.
I guess, maybe.
right? Because at the we'll get to the
Maybe
end.
he thought like if he confessed to not fixing it that they'd report him or something.
Well, that's what I mean. Like he's not going to say that he just hasn't done it,
Yeah.
right? He's going to be like, oh no, no one's told me about that.
But he could easily just say, "Oh yeah, they told me about it."
But that's not the way
I
the
haven't
Curb
gotten to
universe
check."
works.
Yeah, that's true.
The whole show falls apart.
Yeah.
All right, anything here?
No, I think that's it.
All right, so it goes to the dentist's office,
Yeah.
and then there's a nice back and forth between Larry and the receptionist.
Yeah, I can't. Oh, it was. He's really just treading over. It's like another. He's at another medical thing complaining about a check-in procedure. It's like he's really got a very limited repertoire. Like, so it's like the complaint here is that like you have to write your arrival time, but he says like, well, there's no reason to be honest. Like if you're late. I mean, did you have something from this?
No, again, just another, like, it's not even a confrontation, but it's like a micro confrontation.
Confrontation. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, so, and then, like, and to not stop with the micro confrontations, he walks over to the reception, from the receptionist to the sitting area, and there's, like, a block of 3 seats, and there's a woman sitting right in the middle. He's like, you picked the middle?
That was super funny. There was something before that I noted, is that I think her name is Gina, but I can't recall. But the dental assistant that Jeff knocked up comes in, and Larry introduces himself to
Yeah.
her, but he overhears her talking to the receptionist about her diamond earrings that she just bought.
Yeah.
And so you're getting these little crumbs that like she might just
She's
be
balling.
Yeah, that she might just be, putting one over on old Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
So then he took the middle. So then he goes back to the dentist chair where he's like actually in the chair. And he's trying to overhear, I'm going to call her Gina because I can't remember her name.
Okay.
Have a conversation
look it up?
with the receptionist again or somebody else about a trip she's taking to Costa Rica,
Yeah, something like that.
and she's like staying at the Four Seasons and all
Oh,
that stuff,
shit.
right?
I have to go switch my laundry real quick.
Very important things here.
I want strict.
Well, you can
Strict timeline
come
right
through
now.
home. You got coinless operated machines.
That's true.
Just taking money out of my pocket.
Add time out of your pocket.
Yeah. I mean, can't cut your hair in the sink anymore. It's just all costing me money. So there's this Greek
I
music.
clean the sink.
I mean, Spicy C3 under the bus today.
Oh, wow.
Um,
That's some bullshit. Some bullshit.
hair was very Norwegian. He's in the seat. There's this Greek music playing, and he's trying to get the dentist to turn the Greek music off so he can overhear the woman's conversation.
Is it Angie, maybe?
Gina, Angie, there's similar letters in there.
I think it's probably Angie.
And Gina.
Angina. Angina.
So
Oh.
it turns into the very affable Greek man kind of yelling at Larry.
Yeah, I got, again, I don't know if this is correct either, but I wrote down Dr. Tanapopoulos.
That's definitely not right.
All right, let me look at this one up on IMDb too.
So
Keep going.
My note here was "Scata" about your crown, which
What?
because he tells him like if you don't like the Greek music, then you should just leave.
Oh.
And Larry's like, but I still have a crown that I need to fix, and he says "Scata" about your crown. Like he threw some Greek at him.
I was going to say, I don't even know this one.
And so-
Dr. Thanapopoulos? Thanapopoulos.
There you go.
Dr. Thanapopoulos.
Scata, according to Urban Dictionary, is Greek for shit.
Really? Okay.
or
Urban
turds,
Dictionary coming through with
shits,
some like real
feces.
info here. Just look at Burger King again.
Scatology, the
Yeah.
study of shit.
So, yeah, I knew that one actually. So I had a note before they get into the. Is this a micro confrontation or a full blown confrontation?
I feel like this is a micro one.
I feel like it's like a medium confrontation. I think Larry opens up this conversation with, "How does it feel that no one wants to see you?"
He does. He does say that.
Which the Dr. Thanatopoulos is takes it pretty well. He's just like, oh, ho, ho, ho. It's like, well, they don't want to see me, but once they see me, they like seeing me. He's like, no, they don't want to see you.
I would agree with him, though. He feels like such a warm, gentle, fuzzy character.
He does seem, yeah, nice. He seems like Santa Claus-y vaguely. But yeah, like you said, they get into a fight. So I have another note here. I wrote down playlist courtesy.
Mm-hmm.
Did you catch this one?
That is actually next.
Oh, isn't that?
That's at Larry's house in the next scene.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I thought this was like.
That's with Leon.
Oh shit! I thought this was about the music. Okay. Did you have anything else from this scene?
Nothing from this scene. So he gets kicked out, but just important to note that he walks out and Julio is there maintaining the dentist office.
Yeah, maintenancing.
And Larry then asks Julio if the exec at Netflix had like reached out again.
Yeah.
'Cause he said he reached out again. And he said no, and I was actually up on his floor, and he didn't even mention it.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember
So
that.
just kind of stirring the pot a little
Yeah,
bit
it really
more.
is.
I don't know why I have to actually
Yeah,
stir
you're doing an ODSTP.
my metaphysical pot.
Are we going to the next scene?
We're going to the next scene.
Okay,
so you
hold
can,
on. Yeah, let me take a break for a sec.
And back like we never left.
Yeah. So we're back at Larry's place.
We're back at Larry's place.
This is our first Leon scene, right? Oh no, wait, we got
no, we've had a
brief
few
one.
Leon scenes. Unpopular take.
Okay,
Leon hasn't been that funny.
this season. I mean,
It's a short episode. There's short sample. two episodes.
well, we got what was it, Jimmy Nobody or whatever?
Willie Nobody was that.
Willie
But that's
Nobody.
his first comment. He's kind of
Yeah.
peaked. That's all I'm
He
gonna
blew his
say.
load on the first one.
There's a couple things I laugh at, but you know,
Yeah, I was actually. I mean,
he also looks different.
yeah, he's got like a goatee or something going on.
He looks like he's aged a little bit in the last couple of years. Like the pandemic really did a number on him.
Maybe.
He's also like, you know, in commercials.
Yeah, he's
and
like
he won an
working like
Emmy.
crazy now, right? He won an Emmy, an Emmy for a podcast.
Someday, Glenn,
Someday, yeah.
we can dream.
I heard we got nominated.
We got nominated for the what is it, the Razzies, a podcast.
The podcast Razzies. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of had a similar thought that I was like, yeah, I don't know, like Leon isn't really like destroying this season like he has in the past. Well, what do you got from this? So what was playlist courtesy?
Playlist courtesy is, I think when Leon was trying to say that when you're at the dentist office that they should sort of play things that other people want to listen to.
Okay, so I was like, I was in the right territory. It was in reference to that, but not in that exact scene. Did you write down what his preferred playlists are at the dentist?
I didn't write down the first one, but I wrote down Bossa Nova.
Yeah, it was stripper music and bossa nova.
And then I did write down feta cheese because he just takes a side swipe at feta cheese.
Yeah, he doesn't like feta cheese.
He says nobody likes feta cheese.
Yeah. Which you don't like? Do you like feta cheese?
Yeah, I don't mind it.
Okay, I don't like it either. I'm not a big fan. In fact, I've been getting this salad for the past couple months, and it had feta cheese, and I just finally was like, I asked for no feta cheese, and I was like, I like the salad way better without the feta cheese.
Was that like the time you ordered the strawberry breakfast without the strawberries? Were they like similarly
I don't
shocked?
think the feta was as integral to this salad as the strawberries were to that breakfast, but yeah, maybe a little bit. I don't know. To me, for this salad, the feta distribution was like not, uniform at all. Like some days you would get barely any, and some days it's like they were like had like just a tiny bit or like not enough for another salad in the back, so they just dumped the rest of the bag out. And I was like, half this salad is just feta cheese, and it was fucking grossing me out after a while.
What is your top cheese? What's the big cheese in Glenn's life?
I mean, I'm not like a real big cheese guy. Like I can't even give you like a fancy cheese. I'm not even like that into brie or anything. I mean, I guess it's just mozzarella. I've had a lot of Monterey Jack in my life. We were a Monterey Jack household. I still seem to kind of prefer a white cheese, I guess. What is that surprising to you?
Not at all.
Why? What's your cheese go-to?
Kraft Singles.
Kraft Singles.
Cheese Whiz.
Cheese Whiz. So you like the cheap stuff?
I ain't fancy, Glenn.
Okay.
You and your fancy white cheeses. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
So then we get. So basically, the scene is Mary Ferguson the second, Leon and Larry are in Larry's house, and Mary Ferguson's going to be leaving for the weekend or some period of time, and Leon is going to be watching the dog. But what that means is that Larry's going to be watching the dog because it's going to be in Larry's house.
Yeah.
And Larry's not okay with this, but he wasn't consulted.
And this is where we find out that the dog didn't finish the steak and it's been barfing up all over the house.
Yes, and Larry's like kind of losing it because Leon is proving his point in real time. His point that if the dog is here, then like no one's gonna really care for the dog, and nobody is caring for the dog because they're just letting it go around and fuck Larry's house up. But also, this is where Larry is introduced to the name of the dog.
Yeah, which we already talked about. It's the titular name of the dog. It's what was
Angel
it?
Muffin.
Angel Muffin. Yeah.
Was that a delay there by you to try to remember what the dog's
I
name?
can't remember his Angel something, but I can never remember the second part. But basically, I already forgot what her name is too. There's so many names.
Mary Ferguson.
Mary Ferguson Deuce. She informs us that basically Angel Muffin can do any command as long as it's preceded with his name. And like basically they get the dog to do anything just by saying Angel Muffin, but Larry won't say it, so he has no control over the dog.
He like refuses to say that dog's name.
Yeah.
That's really the setup here is that Larry's not going to have access to this dog. So the next scene is a dinner, but I'm blanking on what the dinner setup was. Do you remember the dinner setup?
No, what dinner is this? Let's see.
I want to
Is it
say
Burger King?
I want to say Susie's there because there's
I had one note. Because they find out that Angel Muffin is actually a boy.
it's a boy.
And like Larry is like incensed, like he's like, "You named a boy Angel Muffin?" And Leon says, "There's no gender to angels or muffins." That was one of my favorite lines. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so we're at a dinner.
Do you not remember this?
No, is this at the guy's restaurant?
I don't think so. I think this what happens is Larry runs into Dylan and
Oh, okay, yeah.
right and
It's at Dylan's restaurant, right?
yeah, but like I thought that's when he was walking the dog. So I think this was like Larry kind of scheming as to what to do with the dog. So I think he was at dinner with Jeff and Susie, right?
Okay.
And they're trying to and Larry's trying to think of a way that he can apologize to Dylan.
Okay.
Do you not remember the scene at all?
I don't remember it at all.
Pull it up just to refresh my memory because I have
Okay.
some funny notes here, but I'm like, I got a Barbary Jones, I've got a Meshuggahs, I got a Ratty Towel Talk.
I have one note from here. I guess I watched this on my lunch break, and I was kind of like the last end of this episode. I was a little hit or miss.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just them like kind of talking about this right after this scene. Yeah, see, so it's yeah, so Jeff and Larry are having dinner, and then Leon or Susie comes later. Jeff's getting like the lowdown from the hygienist, from Larry, but Larry couldn't hear because of the music, and that's
I
what
barely
it was.
remember this.
Meshuggahs is Susie, like, what's going on with the Meshuggahs and the Greek music? Because she's like, she comes to the defense of the dentist, and then Larry kind of spits back at her about like, why are you talking to Cheryl about my ratty towels? But
Yeah, because I wrote down
Susie-
your towels went downhill.
But Susie says that she'll do Larry a solid and get him back into good graces with the Greek dentist,
Okay.
right? But
God,
this
yeah,
is
I somehow checked out completely on this.
Yeah,
Wow,
and-
what a Susie.
this is
Susie,
the Barbara Jones thing, right?
Do you want me to turn it up again?
See, what's the Meshuggahs?
By the way, you could have warned me about the music.
Jeff loves it.
I tune it out. But listen, you gotta talk to him for me because I need the. He's got the crown. I need the crown.
I'll work it. Don't worry about
Thank
it. I'll
you.
work it. You ran into Cheryl, I heard.
Yeah. What are you talking about? My towels.
No.
Cheryl.
This is the fucking
Yeah.
bit that's like all in the trailers. I'm like, this is a weak ass bit.
Okay,
Your business.
no, down.
I'm
You
getting
just
new towels.
Oh,
you just turn it off.
okay.
But so the next scene is Larry taking Angel Muffin
Yeah.
and purposely trying to run into Dylan.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the scene that you were referring to, right? So he's purposely trying to run into Dylan to show him that he too is a dog lover and try to connect with him on a more human level.
Wow. With the dog, he's connecting on a human level.
So
Wow.
there has to be a nominee for show art of Larry holding the dog.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
That's what
100%.
wrote. I have a very specific one that plays into my theory.
Do you want to spit this theory now?
I mean, I've already brought it up. I don't want to talk about it anymore. My Allen versus Pharaoh,
that
David versus Canine theory.
Got it. Larry likes to fuck dogs.
Yeah.
All right. So,
David versus Canine. Come on.
what do you want me to do with that? You continue to throw dead fishes on my lap, and you're just like, here, have fun. I'm like, okay, moving on.
Come on. David versus Canine is funny. David versus Muffin. All right. I'm sorry.
What's with this Meshuggahs? Let me see. I actually was supposed to find out what Meshuggahs meant. Crazy foolishness. Yeah,
Okay. There you go. That makes sense.
It's got to be an Urban Dictionary. You know,
Julie?
they started doing this on my sports show. They started
What?
going to Urban Dictionary and reading definitions of things.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So what? Actually, I'd like to
Did
tell you.
we wait?
No, I mean, we can't.
Is this
possibly-
like a reverse osmosis where we stole it and didn't realize it?
No, because I mean, there's no way I could have stolen it because I've listened to the show for fucking 10 years. So like,
Yeah, so you could have possibly stolen it if they did. it
oh, I
forever.
see what you mean. No. But they had a particular a guy on the show is like a broadcaster. You know how those broadcasters have like the really proper pronunciation and voices.
Okay, yeah.
Right. They had him read something about like drip.
Oh, yeah.
And-
You know what drip is? It's like when you're like you got too much bling, you're just dripping.
Yeah, but the ones that he ended up reading were sorry. It was Zaddy that they had him read.
Oh, zaddy.
Yeah.
That's like a gay thing, right? Well, it's just like it's like a hot daddy type person, right?
Okay, so this is what he read. A fine, handsome, and sexy-ass intelligent man that makes you smile and drip every time you see him.
Oh, that's a different kind of drip, I think.
That is correct. And then he just kept reading these, and he had no idea, like he really had no idea, because he just kept reading, and he ended up reading one that ended with, and makes all my lips drip. And then at that point he realized, like, what the hell did I just read?
It didn't click in
Did
until
not
then.
connect at all. That
Okay.
was our bukkake moment.
Yeah. So what happens in this scene? Basically, like he connects with Dylan O'Brien.
He runs into him because he's sitting down at the
Yeah.
table, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't know you had a dog."
Yeah, and he says he rescues it. That he literally rescued it out
He
of
tells this ridiculous story about like jumping into a dumpster, and it had like ravioli all over him.
I did write down ravioli all over me. But then he says the dog's name is Dumpster, which is like kind of funny actually.
Well, that Dylan doesn't react is the best part. He's just like, "Oh yeah, okay."
Yeah. Well, he does have the edgy ass band name of Dylan O'Brien and the Entrails.
That's true. Dylan has to go take his dog for a
I just think about him playing the drums.
and so Larry is left with the dog, and the dog is like barking, and Larry's telling the dog to shut up,
Yeah.
and then the dog just runs away.
Yeah, and he keeps calling for the dog, but he can't bring himself to say the full Angel Muffin name. So
Yeah.
he's like, Angel what's it's and Angel who's it's.
No, he says Angel Ma. He just can't get the muffin out.
And so the dog
I think
runs
the angel part's the more embarrassing part.
then Muffin?
Imagine Larry David running after a dog. Angel, Angel.
It's true. Larry
Muffin, kind of like, it's a pet name, you know?
Yeah.
Muffin.
Like I'm sure you've said muffin. Like I'll take a muffin. But it runs away, and I thought it got ran over by a car.
You're very much led to believe that it was murdered.
But like
It was
you hear later
deceased.
that it just got clipped and basically hurt.
Well, that's Larry's explanation of it.
yeah.
He says something to the effect of, and the dog get barely clipped by a car,
Yeah.
which could also mean like it's dead. You just
Yeah.
really don't know.
But he is paying vet bills to bring it back to health, so it's
That's
like
true.
assumedly it's not dead
That's
because
true. The hip.
Mary Ferguson's like taking it. Yeah, I mean, one of my dogs got run over by a car and crushed his hip, and he lived, so it's not unheard of, I guess.
But it essentially kills the Dylan experience.
Yeah, because
for
Dylan catches him, and then he's like, he doesn't. I don't see how Dylan can understand what happened, but he knows like
He just knows.
Larry was bullshitting about something. Because he's not calling it dumpster anymore. He's calling him Angel Muffa.
So, next scene, Larry's at Netflix again, and
Yeah.
they're telling him how Dylan is
John
out.
Jr.
Dylan is out, and Jeff is like astutely trying to just end the meeting. Like, okay, we'll see you guys later. And then Larry says, one more thing about the bathroom, and then you just hear Jeff go like,
Yeah. Because, like, Spicy C said, like, she's like, what the fuck? Why does Jeff let him do this? It's like, he's obviously not like, usually Jeff doesn't even say anything, but this is like a rare, like, instance where Jeff, like, demonstrates, like, not have, I didn't want to say not having satisfaction, but being dissatisfied or angry with Larry.
and I mean, to that point, it's like, what's he gonna do? Like, he can't tell Larry to shut up, right?
Yeah, it's funny because it's like Larry kind of has so much cachet and he makes big deals, but he doesn't give a fuck about him really. But like, this is Jeff's actual job. Like, Jeff's like, this is an actual paycheck for me. Like, like I know you're my friend and I do this for you anyways, but like, I prefer to like actually spend my time making money.
Actually, no, he prefers to spend his time banging dental hygienists and getting him pregnant.
Well, how do you think he bangs those chicks? It's by throwing around his money.
It's true. How much dental work do you think Jeff needed to get in order
He got like a bunch of like unnecessary dental
just to
procedures.
connect? I mean, like, because there's like I mean, I would not think that Jeff is a first interaction and sex kind of guy. Like, I don't think he has that kind of game. What's happening on the screen?
Oh fuck.
Out and redo it for free. So I might just be like, oh, like within 90 days, like, hey, this unit needs to be snaked again.
Just like at 88 days every
Yeah.
every month. You're just like, hey, it's backing up again.
And then we'll just like put a bunch of your hair in the
Yeah.
sink so it like backs up.
Yeah.
Are we back? Did we lose everything? Glenn's having a day. Glenn is having a day.
I'm having a bit of a day.
Well, Glenn's doing his best, and he is deserving of a gold star.
Yeah, okay. All right, so I think we're back now.
We almost lost the episode.
I hope we didn't lose anything. I'm not sure where we lost.
Well, it literally just came up, and I alerted you to it.
Okay, so it like, all right, so we probably didn't lose anything.
Yeah. All it is to say is that we were in the Netflix scene, and Larry brings up the maintenance thing again. Jeff groans because he's like, damn it, why are you bringing this up? I thought I was trying to get us out of here. And Larry and Don Jr. kind of get into a altercation.
Yeah. What was it? Confrontation?
Yeah, it's confrontation.
What micro? This is
sort of a medium.
This is a macro confrontation.
This is a macro confrontation.
Because they are full blown yelling at each other.
And so the result is show canceled.
Yeah.
No show.
He's like, guess what? He's like, okay, Don Jr. Okay, Don Jr.
Yeah, he's just got to throw in the Don Jr.
I'm like,
thing.
I don't know if this is that great at like.
I know, because you might. I mean, he might think it's a compliment. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what? Now that I think about it, he kind of does have like the Don Jr. look to him.
I think that is on purpose for sure. Yeah.
All right.
I wrote down goodbye, Don Jr. That was that was the end of that. I don't know. It was fine. Whatever. No more Netflix. I don't have to worry about not seeing Wheels anymore.
You never know.
I guess I did see him in previous episodes with
So you do see Wheels.
shared individuals. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So back to Larry's house. Larry is now, as we talked about, he's paying the dog's medical bills, Angel Muffin's medical bills, and Mary Ferguson is saying that the dog is having complications, and Larry.
But Mary Ferguson's not there. Like, she's broken up basically with Leon, right?
Yes, and so Larry is complaining about having to pay more money because of these complications, and Leon is also upset because now he's got to find another Mary Ferguson to go on this trip with him.
Yeah.
And so I wrote down, I invested in that ass.
That was pretty good. I had another one. I wrote down Mary Ferguson's don't grow on trees.
Though he had 8 of them in that interview, which suggests they kind of do grow on trees.
I mean, there's a fair amount, but yeah, apparently this is the one he wants.
But then he goes back to the dentist, and he's now in the chair again, and he's talking about how much he loves, the Greek music and all that stuff.
Oh, George.
And oh, George. And he puts the tissue in his ear before the dentist starts. And the dentist starts telling him all this shit.
Yeah.
And he can't hear a goddamn word. And it's just him kind of like, he almost resembles somebody that's like high, on that, what do you call it? Like the laughing gas.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right. That they kind of give you in a dental office sometimes for certain procedures.
Yeah.
But he's not. He's just like making all this up. So like, thumbs up.
But he's actually getting all the information that like he was trying to get before.
Well, he would have gotten 2 bits of information, right?
Yeah.
The one is the girl did get an abortion. Well,
and she didn't miss a day of work.
And she didn't miss a day of work, right? But that also Julio was supposed to fix the urinal in the bathroom, and he told him multiple times to fix it, and he hasn't fixed it. So he's also the unreliable one in the equation between Don Jr. and Julio.
Yeah.
Right? But Larry has no idea.
Yeah, and he never
about any of this stuff.
I guess presumably he'll never find out.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the end of the episode. I had one note from this still, but I was gonna say there's a weird thing like the end music comes in, but it's like muffled. Do you think it's supposed to be like Larry's perception of the music?
Perhaps,
sort of?
yeah.
It's weird because it's kind of comes in muffled, and then you get some more lines, and then it comes back up, and then you get the full bum, I guess.
It's the second episode where they've done something different at the end. So
that's true. I did kind of clock that. My last note was 2 great men. Did you catch this?
Yes.
Because he's like, Larry comes in and apologizes to the Greek dentist, and he's like, My dad always said, like, it takes a real man to apologize. And he's like, I am a great man or whatever. And then, like, then they start talking back and forth. And Larry's just like, two great men right here. What did you think of this episode?
I thought it was okay.
It was okay. Yeah, it's... I thought maybe it wasn't as good as the first episode.
I'm waiting for that like game-changing, Buck Dancer moment.
Yeah.
Like, give me something that I can really be ebullient about.
Yeah. Okay. Like,
I was gonna end it with see, I drank 3%.
yeah, I kept staring at that undrank beer the whole
Well,
time.
it doesn't have to be undrank, Glenn. It's all yours.
I don't know.
I have to drive.
Okay, well, I gotta drive eventually too. All right, I think that's it. Still have not gotten a new mic stand. I just kind of wrap it around like this. There we go. It's just the cord tension that keeps it in place, which is probably bad form. Let me ask you, I got a backyard, often mentioned backyard for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
They usually give you like a jerk sauce in the like plate container, right?
Usually, but this has been really inconsistent lately, so I've always had to ask. Like, I always order more anyways.
Yeah.
So I say, like, can I get 2 additional, 3 total, and then I ensure that I get my free third, my owed to me 1 jerk sauce.
Yeah, because I thought I always got 1, and then I usually got 1 extra, but then I feel like I was always like kind of cutting it close at the end, so I was like, I'm going to get an extra one, so I got 2 extra, but then they didn't give me the 1 normal, so I'm like, well, now I still have the same amount, and I paid more.
Yeah, no, this happened to me all the time. That's why I started being very explicit about the free one. So I used to say, like, can I have 4 total jerk sauce?
Yeah.
And then they charge me for 4, and they just give me 4. And I never, like, because I order it over the phone and then I go in person to pick it up. But then I started making sure that it's really 3 jerk sauce plus the one that I get.
Because I feel like if you go, can I get 4 jerk sauce, there's some ambiguity there. But I said 2 extra, denoting that there was an initial free one.
I hear you. I just, cut out the middleman, and I just ended up buying one of the bottles.
Yeah, I guess I need to do that.
That shit is so good.
But then I feel like there's chunkage at the bottom too.
Gotta
That's
shake it.
You gotta shake it. Okay. All right. That's what it says.
Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your booty.
You got anything else?
That's all I got. I remember saying something to you during our last game about, we'll talk about it during the French Toast Minute, but then I forgot what.
Oh yeah.
What it
well,
was.
we crushed, right? Well, I didn't play the last game, but the previous game.
Yeah, I would like to point out that I have won the last 2 games that I've
Oh,
attended.
I did see you got start of the game in the last one.
That is correct.
That's pretty sweet.
You know what? Have you seen, this is kind of random, but have you seen this one league? Do you use this?
Yeah, I use that.
Did you? I didn't know this. 'Cause I just stumbled upon this. But if you go to like statistics, like up here statistics, it actually pulls all of your statistics. Like if you clicked your name,
Yeah.
it pulls all of your statistics from the entire time you've played at Sharks Ice. So you can go back to like Xilinx and FNF.
Really?
Yeah, I just randomly stumbled on this, right?
So somehow they got the data. Wow, this is really inside.
No,
know
I
if this
was
is
just I was just saying like
But yeah, like basically recreational sports are like getting next level now. It's
well, I
like-
mean, this app sucks. This like app is fucking terrible.
Really?
But yeah, it's just pulling a web info.
Wow, weird.
But yeah, so I was to say if you want to go check out
I
like
need to look at my old stats. Yeah.
your big statistics.
See what my best year was.
I mean, this is kind of crazy. This is like 2007. This is as far back as it goes, which is I think when I started playing ice hockey for Xilinx, right? That team that your mom was playing on.
Yeah.
That was not a your mom joke.
Yeah, she really was playing. Okay, let's get into the episode here. Where are we at? 10 minutes. Okay.
Dynamite pause, Glenn.
Yeah,